Hi, welcome back. It's been a while. I've got my co-host here today, Mr. Mecha. And Mecha said he wants to talk about moving forward with his life today. And I said, Mecha, do you want to move forward or do you want to move up with your life? And he said, oh, I never thought about it that way. So let's talk about it. A lot of people say, I do too, I'm going to move forward with my life. I'm going to leave the past behind and move forward. Well, guess what? In the quantum field, time doesn't exist. So my past is still a part of me and it's always going to be there. So is my future and so is the now. So if we're going to move forward and you draw a line, that would be moving forward, right? Point A, point B. Moving forward. You can even move backwards on the line. Moving backwards. And so in our heads, we say, I'm moving forward with my life. And then we feel productive like we actually did something. And we could be filling our day with so many actions and thinking we're moving forward when the actions are actually big old distractions. I am a queen of distractions and convincing myself and persuading myself that it's productivity and I was moving forward with my life. And technically I was moving forward in the day. The sun would rise and the sun would set and the next day would come and I'd be great. I moved forward. I accomplished a bunch of things, a bunch of distracting things, and maybe they were beneficial to other people. Maybe I made some money, maybe there was some instant gratification, but when I put my head down on the pillow at night, there was still something missing. I was like, why am I not moving forward with my life? Because the terminology that I was telling myself was incorrect. I actually want to elevate my life, and I think a lot of people confuse that and actually want to elevate their lives as well. Get to a whole new level. Like when you're playing a video game, you moved forward to finish that level, but then you would get to the next level and then a new challenge would arise or a new playing field would come into view and you'd have a new perception and new adventures to go on. So think of life as moving upward or elevating yourself instead of just moving forward. Because moving forward, you're still on the same darn line. We want to add some dynamics to it. That is just the x-axis. That's okay, but that's pretty darn boring. Let's move it on up. And you know why we forget to move it on up? Because it takes effort, it takes change, it takes energy, and it's freaking scary because we don't know what's going to happen on this new level. We know what's going to happen if we keep moving along this same line. The same thing. Same creates same, and change elicits change. But to jump up to that next level, you got to put a little spark under there to get you up to that new level. Which again, scary, not sure how to do it, requires effort. Everything against our brain patterning for survival. We have a natural default system that reverts to survival and don't change anything because we might get hurt. So let's take the easiest path, the path of least resistance, the same. It requires less energy. But let's mix it up a little bit, shall we? Let's elevate our lives. So how do we do that? How do we go from this moving forward thing that we thought was super productive? I'm moving forward with my life. Well, guess what? I'm still in the same damn place that I was 10 years ago. I actually looked back at my journal from 10 years ago and I was basically saying the same thing. But if you had asked me, oh, did you move forward? I'd be like, yeah, I moved forward a lot. In some ways I did, but the same basic principles that I was seeking or writing about in my journal have not changed. And so that's what really clued me in of I've been just doing a ton of busy work and it's exhausting because I haven't really made that change, that leap. To make that change and that leap, you have to do something completely different. And it's going to take practice and it's going to be ugly. It's not all rainbows and waves and sunshine. It's going to be a stormy storm to make that change. You want to elevate your life. You want to get to a whole new level. When we get to that whole new level, we begin to open up our perception because we're being present, because we're not sure what's going to happen. And when we are present, we're using all of our senses. We are aware of everything around us. And we learn what's really becoming aware inside of us. Because when you pack your bags from moving forward to elevating, what's the only thing you're going to bring with you? Yourself. So when you leave all of that heavy baggage from this straight line of moving forward up to this next level. What you've brought with you is truly what's inside of you. So you have to take a look inside as well. And again, it's a mirror, and that mirror can be a beautiful picture, or that mirror might be like, what is that? That's pretty hideous and scary, but I'm gonna face it anyway. Because we're making that change. And once we acknowledge that change, and now we are in a different place. So instead of saying, oh, I started out here and now I'm over here, we're gonna start here and now we're up here. And sometimes we might roll back down the hill a little bit, and that's okay because we might only roll to here. And then we work and push ourselves back up the hill this way, and then we might only roll back to here. So do you see, you are now still elevated and higher than where you were down here. And so if we're all made of vibrations, vibrations have different wavelengths and different energies about them. So when we get lighter, we have a higher vibration. And when we are higher and lighter and vibrating at this level, it's a much more joyful and peaceful and happy and positive outlook on things versus a heavy, weighted, ugly, and depressing, and grief, and all of these heavy, heavy things that we feel. Very, very different. So when we keep elevating ourselves, we're increasing our vibrations, we're getting lighter, we feel more free, and voila! Life just starts to feel a little bit better. Maybe the relationships around you change, maybe the relationship with yourself changes, maybe all of a sudden things start just magically working out, a little abracadabra for you, and then you're like, how did that happen? The synchronicities. It's because you're making changes. It's because you're elevating your life. You're not just moving forward, going through the day-to-day routine on this automatic pilot. We need some stimulation. We need that like neural excitement. We need that dopamine system to fire. It constantly wants to learn new things. If you're just like cruising, that's pretty darn boring. And then we start to look for some excitement and usually get into trouble of some sort. So, tell me how you would like to elevate your life instead of moving forward. Or you're like, wow, I say I'd like to move forward in my life. Start changing that narrative that you're having with yourself and saying, I want to elevate my life. I'm going to make one change today that's going to elevate my life. Maybe it's I'm going to wake up and not turn my phone on right away. Or maybe it's I'm going to eat 3 hours before bedtime instead of 5 minutes before bedtime. Maybe it's I am going to make an effort to be more social and hang out with people I enjoy being around. Think about it for a little while and then take action and do it. So we think it, and then we do it, and then we naturally just become it. So now we can elevate our lives on a daily basis.